Hello everyone, welcome back to another video and welcome to one of my first videos of 2025. I'm not sure when this is going to be going up, but obviously it's going to be going up sometime relatively towards the beginning of the year because in this video I'm going to be talking about 10 standalone books that I want to prioritize in 2025. Now I decided to only include standalone books on this particular video because I am planning on doing kind of a series of videos a little bit later catching you up on where I'm at with series and talking about priority series for the year of 2025. So this one is just going to be standalones. Now, if I happen to get it wrong and there is a book in here that somewhere down the line is going to have a sequel and I didn't know about that, I apologize. But as far as I'm aware, all of these books are standalones. I am really looking forward to them. All of them I am very, very excited about, but the final two on the list are probably the ones I am the most excited about and the ones that I feel like have the potential to become new favorites. Honestly, I could see all of these becoming new favorites, but I just, you know how sometimes there's certain books that you're like, this is going to be a favorite. This one I'm going to love. Like, I know it. Just like, I know it. The final two books on this list, I know it. It's gonna happen. So let's jump into them. The first one I have on the list is Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Poranek. This is a YA fantasy, and we're following a girl who has magical powers, but in her world it is frowned upon, maybe not strong enough of a word. You're very much looked down upon and seen as like bad or evil when you do have magical powers. So she goes into this enchanted dark forest to find a flower that will give her a wish so she can wish away her powers. And when she finds this magical flower, she also is found by some guardian of the forest who says, you know what, if you serve me for a year, I will allow you to have the wish that this flower will grant you. And so she agrees to this deal because I think otherwise her option would be to no longer continue living. So I think she found it to be a good bargain. And I am very intrigued by this. I think this sounds like something I will absolutely love. I love magical dark forest vibes. I like the kind of ancient forest being type character as well. So really looking forward to this. I think this is one I'm absolutely going to love. The next one on this list I've been meaning to get to for a really long time, and that is Starling House by Alex E. Harrow. This one came out, I think, in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it was the October Owl Crate book for 2023, and I still have not read it. I found that a lot of people were reading either A Study in Drowning or Starling House and finding them fairly similar, so I didn't want to necessarily read them back to back because this book is also about a girl who is very obsessed with this author and gets a chance to go to his house. Now in this one, she is an orphan and she is trying to like earn money, I think, to get her brother's freedom, and so that comes into play when she's going to this house, but she finds out there's more to it, right? Like their heir to the house is having some very creepy dreams or experiences happening to him, and I'm not positive if this is going to be supernatural or if it is not, which I kind of love going into books. I'm really excited to jump into this one. I'm hoping that it's fantasy and has some supernatural aspects, but I think it can still be really well done if the author makes it so you can't really tell. So really looking forward to this. I think this is one I'll love, and I think I'll love it more since it's been so long since I read A Study in Drowning. I won't really like feel that similarity quite as much. The next one I think is my only contemporary that is on this list, and that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know if I really need to tell anyone at this point what this book is about because it is a Bookternet darling. It is so beloved, but it's about this really famous woman named Evelyn Hugo who is now agreeing to be interviewed when in the past she has avoided like interviews about her personal life, and we are learning about her and her experience in old Hollywood. She was married 7 times, so that's something that she's very famous for. And I have just heard so many good things about this book. Everyone loves it. So many people have told me that I have to read it because it is just one of their favorites and they absolutely love this book. So I can't wait to jump into it. I think this will probably be one of the contemporary books that I really enjoy this year, and that is kind of a good breakup from all of my fantasy books. This next one is kind of a recent acquisition, but it's one that I just think I'm going to enjoy a lot, and that is The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. This is a cozy fantasy, which I have been loving a lot lately. I think there are a few on here that will fit into that category, and so you'll be noticing a little bit of a trend, but this one follows this fortune teller, and she only tells small fortunes. She travels around with her mule and her cart, and it tells small fortunes for people along the way as her way of kind of like making a living. And she accidentally does something that is a little bit on the bigger side than she intended, and she gets pulled into this quest to help find a missing child. I think this has found family aspects to it. It has the quest vibe. So overall, it has a lot of things that I tend to enjoy in books. Plus, look at this cover. It's absolutely beautiful, so stunning. I really love it. So I'm really hoping I love the book because I love the cover so much. This next one I have been putting off for quite a while because I want to love it so much, and I'm going to be probably a little devastated if I don't, and that is The Spear Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. This has been hyped up by so many people on Book Talk, and not really as much. I haven't seen it that much on BookTube, to be honest, but I just feel like I have to read this book at the right time to really love it as much as I think I will. This also has a quest to it, and we are following these people who are trying to overthrow the current regime of their country because it is corrupt. And I've heard that this has a very beautiful told story feeling to it, and that the writing is just absolutely phenomenal. It's so emotional and you just won't be able to put it down. And I need that, but I need to be in a place where I can enjoy that to its fullest extent. And so this has to be the year for this book, but I am so nervous. I really want to pick the perfect time, but like, is there ever going to be a perfect time? I don't know, but this one has to happen this year because I need to know if I'm going to love it as much as I think I'm going to love it. Okay, this next book has a little bit less pressure on it, and that is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. I love T. Kingfisher. I've loved everything I've read by T. Kingfisher, so I'm feeling like this is a really safe bet that I'm going to very much enjoy this book. In this one, we are following the daughter of a sorceress, and this sorceress is not a good person. She uses her powers for evil purposes in general, and she moves in with this very wealthy man and his sister, I believe, and I don't know exactly why she gets in with this man, but apparently her daughter becomes close with them, and she sees them as kind of like a found family, and she doesn't know whether to betray her mother and warn them that her mother is going to essentially do bad things to them, or to be loyal to her mother and not tell them. I'm very intrigued by this, and again, I really like the cover. I think that Owlcrate did a great job with some of their cover art on some of these books, and I absolutely love it. But I'm intrigued to see what I think of this book, because it sounds a little bit different than some of T. Kingfisher's other works, and I'm interested to see how she does this one. And another cozy fantasy, I don't think this will surprise anyone, but that is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. Now, I have read nothing by this author, but I've heard amazing things about her work. And this is one that I already own. I'm already excited to read. And again, look at this adorable cover. Like, it is so cute. I think that Owlcrate does a really good job of their like alternate covers that they have been doing, and this is no exception. And I mean, it has cats with wings. I love cats, and cats with wings for some reason just is extra cute. So really looking forward to this one. This follows a woman who is kind of the guardian of a library of spell books, but then it is burned down, and she is able to rescue some of these spell books with her assistant, who I believe is a plant. I could be wrong, but I think her assistant is a plant, and escapes to an island where she grew up, and she sets up this kind of like jam shop there where she's protecting these books. I think there's going to be a romance in this. I am really looking forward to it. This sounds so cozy, just something that I could sink into and really enjoy. I'm definitely looking forward to this. I think I need to maybe do like a cozy fantasy reading vlog, because I have so many on my list. But yes, this one I think is definitely going to be one I enjoy. Now, these next two I have are Dark Academia books, Dark Academia fantasy books, which is a like subgenre that I absolutely adore, and I have such high hopes on these books that if I don't like them, I don't know if I will ever be able to trust my intuition again on picking books. The first one is Blood Over Brighthaven by Emma Wong. I do own another edition of this book. You've probably seen it before, but I got this one at Barnes & Noble so I can read it because the other one, I just can't. But this book follows a young girl who really wants to get in. Young girl? I actually don't know how old she is. 20 years. I don't know how old she is, but it follows a woman who is trying to get into a prestigious magical university that no woman has ever gotten into before. She is able to pass the exams and get in, but she, of course, runs into other issues because the guys don't want her there. And so she is given this assistant that is less than ideal, but then she learns that he is more than meets the eye. I'm really excited to get into this. I love dark academia fantasy books. It's seriously, I'm hoping this is just like everything that I need in a book because I've heard such good things about this. I actually don't think I've ever heard someone talk negatively about this book. So the expectations are just way up there. I mean, above where the camera can see. I think this is going to be one of my favorite books, and I just have determined that, and if it's not, I'm going to be really sad. But yeah, this is going to be read in 2025 for sure. Like it's a must. And the final book on this list is one that I have had my eye on for a really long time. I'm talking years at this point, and it's one that I can't believe I haven't read yet. And it kind of falls into the category of A Spear Cuts Through Water, where I kind of want to be in the right headspace for it, because I think it is one that is going to take a decent amount of brain power to really be engaged and enjoy it to its full potential. And that is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norl by Susanna Clarke. I cannot believe I haven't read this one because I love dark academia fantasy, and this is kind of like the granddaddy of dark academia fantasy as far as I have been told by others who enjoy this genre. This is a historical fantasy set at kind of the Napoleonic Wars time in England, I believe, and we are following the last magician, Mr. Norl, who then finds out that there is another magician out there named Jonathan Strange, and I think we follow kind of their relationship, their competitiveness that they have going back and forth, and I just think that this is going to be a book that I absolutely love, and it's going to be one that is an all-time favorite for me. I did get this awesome version for Christmas. I really like this new cover. I think it's really pretty, it's beautiful, and this is one that I just have to read this year. It's one that has to happen because I know I'm gonna love it, and I just can't keep putting it off until the time where I'm like, okay, this is the perfect time. I'm very much a perfect time girly, and this one's gonna have to happen this year, whether I feel like it's a perfect time or not, because I think this could be one of my favorite books of all time. I loved Piranesi by this author. The writing style in that was like absolutely phenomenal, so I'm really hoping for that in this one as well. But yeah, this one's gonna happen. So those are the books on my standalone TBR for the year of 2025. I'm feeling like I'm going to get through a decent number of these books. I've been wanting to read a lot of them for a while, so I think that's going to help them be high up on my priority list. But let me know down in the comments which ones you feel like I absolutely have to get to. If you know my taste, let me know which ones I'm going to love the most. And we will see which ones I get through, and I will do a follow-up video probably next year going over whether I read them or not. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I do well this year. But that's it for this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.